Hello, this is Justin7, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about another NFL Super Bowl prop. Until the end of time, says he likes the prop, will both teams make a field goal of 33 yards or longer? So if you're thinking about betting on the proposition, will both teams in the Super Bowl kick at least one field goal of 33 yards or longer? How do you go about figuring that out? We're going to do several things. We're going to look and see how often each team kicks a field goal of 33 yards or longer in each matchup. Then we're going to do what's called normalizing. That is, adjust their number of field goals expected for this particular matchup. Finally, we're going to multiply those two odds together, the odds of Arizona hitting a 33-yarder or longer and Pittsburgh hitting a 33-yarder or longer, to figure out the odds of the yes hitting on that prop. First, we're going to look and see how many field goals the Cardinals had during their regular season games. Looking at the stats from sportsline.com, we see they had 6 in the 40-plus range, 1 in the 50-plus range, and 9 in the 30 to 39 range. Now, I'm just trying to get an estimate. It doesn't have to be exact, because a lot of these proposition numbers are horrendous. So, with 6 in the 30 to 39 range, I'm going to take 2/3 of them, which would be 33 or more. So I'm going to assume there were 6 in the 33 to 39 range. Looking at here, 6 more in the 40 and 1 more in the 50-plus range, for a total of 13 field goals during the regular season. Now, doing the same for the Steelers, we see they had 9 field goals that were 40 yards or longer and 8 in the 30 to 39 range. Now, just like with Arizona, I'm going to count 2/3 of those field goals in the 30 to 39 range. The next thing we have to do is what's called normalizing. We have to adjust this for who they're playing. With the opening line in this game of Pittsburgh -7 and a total of 47, the odds makers are suggesting the score will be 27-20. So we're going to use that to normalize this. Now, Pittsburgh only averaged 22 points per game during the regular season. A little bit less, but let's go with that. So I'm going to multiply this times 27 divided by 22 to get the number of field goals I expect against Arizona if they played 16 times. Similarly, Arizona scored 27 points a game, and they're only expected to score 20 in the Super Bowl, so I'm going to multiply their field goal total by 20 divided by 27. Once I multiply it together, I get two numbers. I expect Arizona to have about 0.6 field goals of at least 33 yards in this matchup, and I expect Pittsburgh to have about 1.1 field goals of at least 33 yards in this matchup. So, knowing those two facts, how do you figure out the odds that both of them will have at least one field goal? And I like to use the Poisson distribution. Poisson, it looks like poison with an extra S. If you go into SBR Forum's Handicapper Think Tank and you do a search for Poisson calculator, you'll get a link from Gantro with the calculator, and I'm going to go into there and figure out the odds of each of these two events occurring. If Arizona is expected to have 0.6 field goals in this matchup, using a Poisson distribution, there's about a 45% chance that they score at least one field goal. Now I change it to 1.1 for Pittsburgh, and you see that there's about a 67% chance of at least one field goal in that range for Pittsburgh. When you want to figure out the odds of two independent events both happening, you multiply them together. So in this case, we're going to multiply the odds of Arizona having a field goal at 0.45 times the odds of Pittsburgh having a long field goal of 0.67. And I get the odds are about 30%. With a 30% chance of this event happening, of both teams having a 33-plus yard field goal, the fair odds are about plus 230. If there is a 30% chance of both teams having a field goal of at least 33 yards, then the fair price on this prop is about plus 230 on the yes. Now, if we check Pinnacle's price, the yes is plus 159, the no is minus 179. So if I had to bet this prop, I'd bet the no. The problem with prop betting is you have to price hundreds and hundreds of these to find value. If you're only going to look at one or two of these, you can actually look at them in a lot more depth. Some other things you could look at is how often does each team's defense allow field goals. And when you see this, your number may change a bit, because you'll see Pittsburgh's defense gives up a lot more field goals compared to touchdowns, compared to a regular team which has 5 touchdowns for every 3 field goals. You can spend as much time as you want trying to get the best number you can. When you're betting props, it's important to bet a lot of them. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email at justin@sportsbookreview.com or send me a PM at sportsbookreview.com.